Until a couple of years ago, big data were ruling. Any job out there included in somehow big data. Big data representation, big data manipulation, big data collection, big data analysis, big data everywhere. And then at a certain point, boom, the silence. There are no more jobs about big data, or not so many. There were a lot of startups, but just dead now, which were working with big data. Myself too, I worked in a startup about big data. And we were doing actually big data before they were calling them big data. And then yet, that startup dead as well in some way. So there has been a big rise and then a big fall of big data. But why? And what really happened? Let's do a step back. What are big data? Big data are a big amount of data. There are three things you do with big data. One is how you collect them. Two, how you manipulate them. And three, how you use them. Now, the big data rise happened in the moment in which it became fashion, very popular, to collect big data. When people start to produce wearable like this, you could strap automatically and without doing anything, your steps, your sleep, your swimming strokes and whatever things, that's how big data became very popular. It was very easy to collect a big amount of data. A person like me, which is absolutely bored and lazy to add any possible data manually into any possible application, when I got like a new toy like the one I'm wearing, it was like, yeah, magic. I can collect all the data I need and want, even the one I don't care about, without doing anything. That's great. And like myself, a lot of people started to collect data, whatever or not they wanted, or whatever or not they knew what to do with those. Then there is the data manipulation. Now a lot of companies offer themselves as a big data collector. They were collecting a lot of data, they were allowing you to connect a lot of different wearables or their APIs like Facebook, Twitter in some way. Then they were elaborating this data in some way, and then think that most companies and startups and applications were doing were representing your data in whatever fancy way. This is the third part, data representation, or how you use your data. Now, the big issue here, and that's why, boom, at a certain point, there's been this fall of big data, is because no company, or anyway, no many companies out there, no many startups out there, were able to do something meaningful with this data. They were also focusing how you represent the data. Who is using the best library? Who is using the best chart? Who is making up the most innovative chart? But they all forgot about one simple thing. People don't give a shit about charts. They can play for half an hour with those, even 1 hour, even 2. But at the end of the day, what people care about is that you can solve them problems or make their life easier, make their life more comfortable, make their life more excellent or more whatever, doing less. So a person like me buy a wearable because it's tracking my steps, so I don't have to track them manually. It's tracking my activities, so I don't have to track it manually. Then I give you my data, and I'm expecting that with those data, you give me some of a meaning. You make my life better without myself having to do anything. So when you just show me a chart that tell me how many steps I do every day, I can look at it for a couple of weeks, and then I don't care anymore. Then some companies started to give you tips. Oh, you know that you should walk 10,000 steps a day. You only do 8,000. But you don't tell me how I can do that. You don't tell me why. And that's why just few companies were giving meaningful insights, and all the others are just dead at a certain point. The truth is that if you can't solve a problem of a person or make his life or her life more comfortable or easier or better in any way, then there is no point to do anything, because no one gonna buy your product or use your application even if it is for free. So what happened is, and that's why big data fell down, is because at a certain point there were so many data, so many applications and charts and tables and whatever stuff, and no one but was giving simple tips, way to improve your life without you having to do much, without having you to analyze or make up any strategy. People was expecting that I connect this and in some way I lose weight. That was people was expecting. Now, is it that possible directly? I don't know. And that's the problem. No one reached that point. And because of that, we had the big data fashion went so high, big data, big data, big data, and at a certain point, poof, like a bowl of soap, it exploded and big data fell down.